So the WNBA Power Rankings are here. The Power Rankings are here. And we are looking at a situation where some of them are a bit strange. So we can see where the Fever are. We're going to see where they've put the Sky. The Atlanta Dream have been really struggling. But obviously the Rookie of the Year race has been interesting. It says rookies Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark rewrote record books. Aja Wilson has another milestone. It's another milestone. Chicago won one of his 2 games. Seattle. The Sparks beat the Aces. Like, the Sparks beating the Aces is crazy. But to be fair, they've done it twice out of 3 times. So the number 1 team in the WNBA is the Connecticut Sun again. The Connecticut Sun were literally a overtime fluke win against the Mystics from losing 4 in a row. And now they're back at number 1. A 3-0 week. They beat Phoenix, they beat Minnesota, and they beat Atlanta. DeWanna Bonner had a career-high 7 3-pointers. And almost every team has one odd defeat for the Sun. It's 77-74 loss to the Dream on June 28. To be fair, like, that was a dream. Well, that was a dream team without, what's their names? That was Atlanta without Ryan Howard as well, which is crazy. But they're 17-4. I don't know how, like, look, I get it. They lost to the Fever. But I still don't know how you don't have the Liberty at number 1. The Liberty are poised to move back into Power Rankings top spot after beating Minnesota on Tuesday. But then they lost a 4th quarter lead in the game. Like, it's just, that was a bad loss. That was a bad loss. I still don't think that it should have brought them down from 2 to 1. From 1 to 2. I still don't think so. And before we get on to the rest of it, if you guys are new to the channel, subscribe. We are trying to hit 18.7k by the end of the day. And right now we are about 80 off. But I still wouldn't be that low on them. I still think they should be number 1. Like, their next games are against Connecticut. Like, it all comes down to really who wins this game. Because they're probably going to beat Chicago twice in a row. Chicago have a really tough couple of games, whereas the Fever play the Mystics. So there could be like some gap in the standings by the time both of those teams go to the Olympic break. The Las Vegas Aces are 3rd. They play the Seattle, the Dream, and the Mystics. It says the Aces beat Indiana, Washington, Dallas, and Vegas, but they fell to Los Angeles. Again, like, when Derek Hamby plays against the Aces, like, the team they win it for her. They win it for her. Let's be real. They win it for her. It was the second game of back-to-back on the road. It also went to overtime, so the Aces have a little bit of leeway. It's their only loss in the last 8 games. And the Aces is a weird one because everyone is like, oh, but like, this is how important Chelsea Gray is to the team. I think you could literally if you put any starting point guard in the WNBA that's competent, like if you put Van Loo, Caitlin Clark, Natasha Cloud, what's her name, Vandersloot, like any of the point guards that start onto this Aces team, they still would have won all those games. Like, Chelsea Gray's not been good. She just doesn't mean that Jackie Young doesn't have to play point guard. That is the big difference. That is the only real difference, is that Jackie Young, who's not a point guard, no longer has to play point guard. That is the huge, like, positive of having, what's her name in the team? Of having Chelsea Gray in the team. She steadies up the ship more so than anything because everybody can play their normal positions again. Like, that is the biggest asset with them getting Chelsea Green, is that everyone can just play where they're supposed to be playing. So, I'd say they'll be happy out with that one. But then the Minnesota Lynx are in 4th. I would probably have them. Their previous ranking was 1. Wow. I probably would have them 5th, mainly because Collier is probably out to the Olympics. Her coach, the Olympics coach, they're not going to risk anything. They are not going to risk anything at all. If there's any chance of an injury, they're not going to risk it. And plantar fasciitis is something that can be a major issue. It can be just a little bit of pain. So you just never know. You just never know. Good thing is that it's not like Porzingis, where he was 7'3" when he got it, or Joakim Noah, who's 7 foot. She's 6 foot tall, not too tall. The more weight on the feet, the worse it can be. I think she'll be fine. I think she'll be fine for the Olympics. I don't think she's going to play till then. They're playing Los Angeles Sparks, who they still should beat without her. They're probably going to lose. They're probably going to lose Seattle, and I can't see them beating Indiana without Collier. As good as Kayla McBride is, as good as Carlton is, I cannot see them beating Indiana in that game. So it's going to be tough. So then you got the Seattle Storm, who have dropped a spot. The Storm are, like, I would say, the last of the, like, actual contenders. And to be fair, I think the Mercury could mess about and go and just get hot in the playoffs. Seattle dropped a spot after 5 weeks at number 4. The Storm are solidly in top 5. They did go and beat Chicago yesterday, where they didn't look great. Like, they looked fine the second half. The first half, where the rim wasn't in line, I mean, you could use that as an excuse, but they did seem to struggle in that half. Either way, though, look, not the worst. The Indiana Fever at 6. I still think putting the Fever above the Mercury is crazy. The Fever hung around with the Aces until the fourth quarter, and then went and beat the Liberty. Fair enough. Splitting 1-1 with those two teams, you probably do keep your spot. You probably do keep your spot in the rankings. I just think it's crazy to say Indiana are the 6th best team in this league. I think it's crazy. I still think they're so flawed as a team. I think when they look good, they're great, but they don't look good that often. Then you got the Phoenix Mercury. Phoenix lost at home to Connecticut, then won on the road to Dallas and Los Angeles to stay put in the power rankings again. They're not great wins, are they? With Diana Taurasi missing 2 games, resting last Monday, and with a leg injury Sunday, Copper combined for 80 points out of 3 games, and Cloud 60 points. Cloud had like a 30-point game, which is crazy. Like, Natasha Cloud has been playing really well this year. And that's the craziest part is, like, Grinder's been great. Natasha Cloud's been great. Kat Copper's been great. Diana Taurasi's been great for 42. She's been fine, though. Like, Sophie Cunningham's been decent. Becca Allen's been decent. So you're looking at this team and you're like, how are they as bad as they are? I don't get it. Player for player, this team should be competing with your Seattle Storms. Maybe they're just the worst of the best teams. But, like, this team should be so much better than they are. Like, player for player, you could argue that they might be one of the 2 or 3 best teams in this league. I still think that they're probably going to win one of these 3 games. Probably going to beat India, or probably going to beat Dallas. In Denver's Indiana, you just never know what's going to happen. And then they're probably going to lose to Connecticut in Connecticut. But this is such an interesting team where it's like, they could go. This is a team, the only team that's like down in the standings at 6 that I think could be your lowest dark horse champion win. I think any of the top 6 teams could win in any given series. And there's the Sky, who are up to 8th. Good week for the Sky. Yeah, they won. They won a game. They went 1-2, I think. Oh, no, they went 2-1. They went 2-1 this week. Yeah, I forgot Kennedy Carter was unbelievable. Kennedy Carter has been ridiculous, and obviously the double-double streak lives on. The Washington Mystics, again, are the best 5-17 team I've ever seen. Walker Cambro's balling. This is a Mystics team that still aren't fully healthy, but they're starting to play. Like, again, if the Mystics were healthy, like if the Mystics had all their players and if Elena Deladon didn't take a year out, the Mystics would be one of the better teams in this league, which is crazy. The Dallas Wings are up to... The Wings have been all right. In fairness, they've been all right. Odyssey Sims has been balling. She's been balling. Natasha Howard coming back into the lineup has made this team better. And Arike has not been anything special the last couple of games, but she's still Arike. At the end of the day, like, this team is now... And then even JC Sheldon starting the ball. The what's their names? The Dallas Wings are playing better. And the Atlanta Dream are terrible. Since Ryan Howard's been gone, they are terrible. And I mean terrible. No one knows if she'll play 3-on-3 in the Olympics. Like, if she doesn't play, they're probably taking Lexi Hull. They're either going to take Lexi Hull or Katie Lou. Probably Lexi Hull. And Jordan Canada's injured again. Like, Jordan Canada's injured. Ryan Howard's injured. Their coach is incompetent. They should be 12. Like, the Sparks beat the Aces. No, bring the Sparks up a position. Bring the Sparks up a position. I'm sorry. The Sparks have at least been competitive in some games. Bring them up a position. The Atlanta Dream are pathetic right now. Their coach sat their starters after 3 quarters when they weren't out of the game. Just get the Atlanta Dream down in 12th. Get the Atlanta Dream down to 12th. Anyway, I don't mind any of these rankings. I think Mercury behind Indiana is crazy. The Mercury are a better team than Indiana. Even if Indiana somehow end up 500 in the season, it'll be a miracle. If the Phoenix Mercury end up below 500, it'll be a disaster. So I still don't know why the Indiana Fever are 6th. I think the Sky are fine at 7th or at 8th. I would probably put the Fever down 1, Mercury up 1. I would bring that incompetent Atlanta Dream team. Their players at least come back right down at the bottom. So anyway, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.